It's the weekly wrap with your host, broadcasting legend Bruce Wolf, and his trusty sidekick, comedian Tim Slagle. And now, without further ado, Bruce Wolf.
Bruce Wolf, Tim Slagle on the weekly wrap, our special top stories of the year show. So, Tim, in your background, I'm going to imagine it's the number one story, which in our last view of Michelle Randolph's navel. Am I right?
Well, kind of close, but
okay.
It's seeing as we're in Northwest Indiana, and this is our New Year's program.
It's a pierogi.
Absolutely.
Oh, Chris,
it's
chiming in there.
It's the pierogi
Yes.
drop, which does kind of look like Michelle Randolph's navel.
You know, you're so right. I knew we were on the same wavelength. You know, I was just reading the other day that somebody was in Times Square, like on New Year's or whatever, and they by the way, for those of you who don't are seeing impaired, a gratuitous shot of Michelle Randolph with who? Oh, with
a high waist.
With a high waist.
If
sure.
you could sneak it in. See, this is the only time of the season somebody actually freeze framed it because it snuck in right here.
Ah, very good. The
somebody freeze framed it. Somebody, yeah. Chris. Somebody.
So somebody said that the Times Square ball looks, like the head of a pin. It's so small. It doesn't, TV. It reminded me of, when I first viewed and the only time I in person viewed the Green Monster, the wall in left field at Fenway Park.
Mm-hmm.
And it looked like a ping pong table on its side. Well, you don't want to get close to your heroes. Now, I wonder if an exception is for Michelle Randolph. There's lint in your navel, for crying out loud. Oh, my goodness. So anyway, we've got the top stories.
I just want to put my ear to it and see if I can hear the ocean.
Yeah. The top stories of 2025. Are we ready, Chris?
We are ready now. Just as predicted, A&I has made everyone lazier. And instead of me actually going through and doing the top stories, I just went to Grok and said, what are the top stories of 2025? So we are doing Grok's top stories of 25. And for some reason, instead of 10, he gave me 11, or she or it gave me 11. So, and they go by month. So I'm going to go by month and give you the general topic. And you guess if you can remember what happened. We'll start in January.
So, this is so complicated. So are there 11 total?
There's 11 total stories.
Okay.
And in no particular order. They didn't count them down. Grok just gave me the top stories of 25.
All right.
So it's more than the top 10, but less than one for every month.
And I got to think that Rob Reiner merits 11, right? Of course, because of Spinal Tap.
Maybe
That's
it's
sick.
a tribute.
That's pretty sick. All right. So let's go to January of 20. Boy, that was a long time ago.
A political story from January of 2025. What happened in January of this past year?
Well, there was a riot at the Capitol because Trump lost the election. Oh, that's a different January. Donald Trump was sworn in as the returning 46th president of the United States. Am I right?
And to close down the border within 24 hours.
Oh, okay.
After they said it could not be done.
Bruce, you were correct.
No.
I want to give Tim side credit on that. That was
sure.
Somehow Grok didn't care as much about the immigration issue, but yes, it was the inauguration of Donald Trump.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, also in January, and again, I don't know.
A second story in January. Top.
There's actually 3 in January.
Okay, 3 stories in January. Okay.
What happened? Yeah. In New Orleans in January of last year.
There was
a big story that seemed to fade.
Yeah, there was a like this guy drove through downtown through Bourbon Street and killed people, right? And isn't that what happened?
This is like Jeopardy, where Bruce is getting the answers in before Tim.
And I didn't do it in the form of a question. Okay.
I forgot about that one.
I'm sleeping with your wife, Trebek. Okay. What is that? What happened?
Well, I was going to give Tim a chance, but
no, that sounded. I agree. That sounded plausible.
Okay, that is correct. So I somehow fifth getting a visual for that one.
Yeah.
And
Was the guy's name Mohammed or Mohammed? Or
It was one of those.
or was it one where it's Muhammad, like the guy that saved the people in Australia, had two first names.
Like Rochelle, the Seinfeld movie, I believe.
From where to where?
Not New Rochelle to Old Rochelle, but Rochelle.
Isn't that where she travels from where to where?
Oh, really? You know,
Milan to
I don't
Minsk.
remember these episodes as well as you do. So there's one more story from
One
January.
more story from January.
Okay.
This would be, let's say, conflict. What was something that was related to conflict, global conflict?
This was
Tim,
when
jump in.
Go ahead, Tim.
global conflict. Was that would no?
I think you kind of forget about this one.
Yeah.
This is when we took over Lilliput, right? We released Gulliver.
Very close.
Okay.
But this was apparently, I don't know how long it lasted, but right before Biden or Autopen was out the door, there was a ceasefire in Gaza that lasted maybe a month.
Yeah.
But that was, I think that's why when Trump
text of the hostage ceasefire agreement reached between Israel and Hamas. I mean, that story has about 85 headlines that are bigger than that one. Don't you? Don't you think?
Yeah.
You know, I say get rid of Grok.
Yeah, no kidding.
I
don't even remember that one. How long did it last?
There's so many.
An hour?
Well, remember, because then later in the year, when Trump had the real ceasefire, Biden tried to take credit for it, saying, well, he laid the framework initially, even though his lasted, days.
Even though Hamas
this was the Biden ceasefire.
Yeah, this was the one right before he left. January 16th was the official date on this.
So Grok is obviously run by, Biden groupies.
Okay. I remember we were expecting that Hamas was going to do the Iran thing that right before Reagan, where on Reagan's inauguration they let him go. I remember that's what we were speculating back then.
Well, I got to tell you, if Operation Hammerhead or whatever it was called isn't like, well, these aren't necessarily in any order, isn't in that list, then there's something wrong with this. But let's go to the next Grok one.
Grok thought nothing important happened in February or March, so we jumped to April. And again, I would go global politics with an economic hit in the United States.
Was that Liberation Day?
That would be that.
Oh, wow.
So yes, it's the liberation, tariffs, etc.
Chris, this is what happens when you don't put your own effort into something and rely on computers.
I'm surprised that Grok didn't mention Doge. Seeing as it
could still be in there, although it probably happened earlier.
Doge right away.
Yeah, that's what I thought. That should have been February, probably.
Then it's applauding Biden ceasefires. So, yeah.
Can I just interrupt? This scintillating list from something I read today. It's from CBS News. Okay, it says it's about 2025. 2025 was so hot it pushed Earth. How hot was it? It was so hot it pushed Earth past critical climate change mark, scientists say. And all I can say is, why is that Trump tool Barry Weiss allowing this at CBS? Global warming scare. She's supposed to be a tool of the Trump administration, and she's allowing this stuff. A little bit upsetting to me.
But you followed Barry Weiss for years, haven't you?
I'm kidding, right? How many years have you been following me? Okay. No, I mean, the whole thing is that she's getting pilloried by the left because, there goes CBS. Yeah. There goes 60 Minutes.
I got the sarcasm.
Yeah, apparently Chris didn't, though.
I got the sarcasm.
He's quickly scrambling to other versions, Chat GPT.
So which tipping point is this? This is probably like the 10th tipping point over the past 10 years, at least, that we passed the tipping point. Oh, it's too late. Which,
Right.
my attitude, it's like, well, okay, can we stop now?
Yeah, there's nothing we can do about
There's
it.
nothing we can do. We passed the tipping point. That's it.
Right.
Can't go back. There's no going back.
Unless Elon's able to fly us to other planets. So that's where we should get put all our money. All right, I want to pace ourselves on this. We're through not even one segment yet. And
We'll run out and then talk about Landman for a whole segment probably. So
well, let me ask you this, Tim: are you up to date or no?
No, haven't
So,
haven't even started
Chris,
season 2.
yeah, I know. Didn't we talk about season 2?
We did a little bit, but I mean, think about it, Chris, and I don't want to give it away. I'm not going to, but you saw the latest episode, right?
I did.
I mean, the opening scene. I mean, they top themselves. You know what I'm referring to.
Yes, I know. So,
Okay. I mean, it's just
Kent.
Yeah, right. It was a tense moment. Anyway. All right. What's our next one?
Also in April. This would have to do with let's go with what do JB Pritzker and
Oh yeah, I know. He took his first dose of Ozempic, right?
this was in April. The creator won some award and $3 million with that award for developing the key hormone change that led to it, Ozempic.
Oh, do you realize that I was trying to make a joke just now?
Oh, were you really?
I mean, we are on such a wavelength right now. No, I think. Oh, he mentions Pritzker, so I'm thinking, okay, what's some outlandish thing that I can say, and it turns out to be true.
I was going to link JB Pritzker to Lizzo. That was my link there.
What
do they have in common?
Yeah, don't show Pritzker's navel. Whatever you do, I want to get through this podcast. Okay, Bruce Wolf, Tim Slagle on the weekly wrap. Bruce Wolf, Tim Slagle on the weekly wrap. What's going to be Chris's last show because he picked a loser top 11 list of stories of 2025. He had 10 million stories to choose from, and he picks like the 80th most important story in the Israel Gaza war, which you didn't pick. It's Grok that did it. And you know what? I'm kind of heartened by this because, I thought within the next year, we're going to be replaced by the likes of AI, Grok et al. And I realized I'm not so sure about that. They need to, you know what? You should have put our names in it and seen, what are the top 10 stories do you think that Bruce and Tim would consider?
Well, let's be honest. We might blast through these and during the
during the break, we'll try. We'll punt.
I'm gonna make a prediction here for the remaining. Where are we at? 5? Do we have 5 left? I'm gonna make a prediction here, Chris, that none of them were the AI that refused to shut itself off.
There you go.
I would bet that Grok did not think that was an important story.
Yeah. Well, it's probably protecting itself.
That's like the daycare fraud being covered in the Somali news.
Either way, I'm trying to get that daycare story straight now because I don't like to read very carefully. So this kid named Shirley, do call him Shirley. This high school kid, whatever.
He's not high school kid. He's older than that.
Older than high school, but he he could star in Ferris Bueller. He could be Michelle Randolph's boyfriend in Landman. The people were giving him credit for breaking this story, but the story was in a whole bunch of outlets a while ago. So did he just bring
he
it to
actually
everybody's
went there
attention,
and knocked on doors, and they're saying that no one went knocked on the doors and saw the Leering Center and all that.
So nobody really did. It was all kind of abstract.
Yeah, one of them started screaming, "Ice, ice, ice! Go away! It's ice."
Okay.
He tried to said he had a kid that he wanted to get in the one center, and they wouldn't even open the door for him. And did you watch some of the video?
No, I didn't. I did see where they called it the Leering Center. The signs at the Leering Center, and I was saying, wait a minute, before you rush to judgment, it's possible that this center was run
by Michelle Randolph.
by Goneril, Regan, and Cordelia, and for you Shakespearean buffs. But other than that, so then anyway, CBS News, the aforementioned, rightist hole that it's become, they apparently looked into some of the places that he went into and found that they weren't as corrupt as he portrayed them. Again, CBS News, supposedly our tool, is turning on us so fast. Anyway, I'm sure we'll find out all these things in the new year. But the thing is I was thinking, we were trying to give this kid a bunch of credit for breaking this story when there were others that had the story at least before.
But the story never really broke. I mean, it was never really covered. It was never really it never became national news.
All right. Well, I'm sure you're right about it. What I'm thinking is, I'm willing to cash this kid in, okay, and say, yeah, the major outlets had it before then. If the left is willing to give up on the fact that Edward R. Murrow killed Joseph McCarthy. McCarthy was in free fall before Edward R. Murrow opened up his frickin' yap, okay? And while we're at it, Walter Cronkite didn't end the Vietnam War, CBS News. There was a plurality against the war. Because these news guys they're always running it to the front of the parade. So if you're willing to do that, all you lackeys who love Murrow, you know that Maurice Dubois, who I used to work with years ago in Channel 32, when he signed off with this other dipwad on CBS for the last time on the CBS Evening News, they said good night and good luck. Oh yeah, thank you for the allusion to Edward R. freaking Murrow, who didn't put McCarthy away. And that's the top story, one of the top stories of
the last century.
1950 something. Yeah. All right.
Good gosh. Pictures talk now, Bruce.
I'm going to take off my glasses like Walter Cronkite right now.
Yeah, Walter Cronkite could actually do a segment on the stories today, and that's the way it was.
Yeah. Yeah.
CBS News 1950.
I had I have a friend who years ago did a Walter Cronkite, the impersonation of his name's Larry Simon. He did the intro to the CBS Evening News, when they tell you where the reporters are and everything like that. Mm-hmm. Direct from our newsroom in New York, it's the CBS Evening News with Walter Cronkite in New York and Terry Drinkwater in Lake Michigan. Roger Mudd in the Okefenokee Swamp. We thought it was funny. Anyway, where are we on our list right now?
Grandpa Bruce, are you ready to?
I sure am.
And David Muir,
Murrow.
And David Muir on the clothesline.
I'll show you a ball drop this New Year's Eve, said David Muir. Yeah.
All right. Spinning out of control. This is May. We have moved on to May. Or Grok is
the month of May. Yeah.
And this was probably the biggest story for the White Sox in 2025.
Not drafting getting the number one lottery pick, that happened just recently.
Remember, this is from Grok, not me.
Grok, in May, the White Sox.
Biggest story for the White Sox this year.
They sold off their team, right?
They sold part of their team.
They did, but not the majority.
I would say the biggest.
I think I stumped you on this one.
The biggest story in May for the White Sox is that they had two fans who actually had to sit next to each other in the stands.
Grok actually came up with this?
Very close. It's based on a fan.
A fan ran onto the field and
got to play first base.
Sure. And was kicked out of the game at the same time. Could you stay there for one out?
Or a fan was elevated to the highest position in the Catholic Church.
Oh. Yeah, that guy.
Oh.
Leo.
The White Sox was a distraction.
Yeah, Leo. the first
Well,
American
because there's
Pope.
nothing good happened with the White Sox this year at all.
No, that's a big deal. I remember seeing that live. I was watching, for some reason I had the TV on, and they were talking about, oh, it could be an American. And I go, ooh, wow. And then they say, he's from Chicago. I go, whoa. I mean, I thought I was going to be named the Pope.
And then he's from the South Side. I mean, that's even.
Yeah.
That's even.
And then there's footage of him at the World Series.
Right. The game that I was at. And we all know, let's play, Popeography. We all know that he probably saw me announcing the one inning of the Cubs White Sox game in 1987 on Channel 32, because that was like the biggest game of the year. So he probably saw me do that. I'm going to think.
Wow.
Yeah. Pope Leo.
And said a prayer, said a rosary.
Yeah. So there you go. Yeah, that's a big story.
That's a big story.
It may be the top story of 2025, actually. Yeah,
it's not AI. That's a real. That's a real shot.
He wore a White Sox hat.
He did.
Wow.
Yeah, and Chuck Swirsky of 670 The Scoros gave him a Bulls jersey, and the Bulls then proceeded to lose like about 20 straight games after that.
Oh, not a basketball fan.
Yeah, they can't blame him. I don't think Southsiders were. Yeah, Jordan's okay. Yeah, he's all right. But
one of the good ones.
Yeah. Well, that is a big story. I hope the next story isn't that the Pope named a liberal to take over the Chicago or some archdiocese around here. Isn't that happening soon? You don't follow Catholic news.
No, he's taking over New York.
New York. Dolan's retiring. Yeah.
Yes. I guess I do follow Catholic news.
Apparently.
We have time for one more before then?
Absolutely.
Okay. Grok skips June and July.
Okay.
And then we get to August. And
by the way, good tease with the White Sox. It was kind of like a red herring, but yeah, I liked it. Very good.
All right. This one won't be as good.
Okay.
In August, major, let's call it a technology story that happened in August of this past year, if we were paying attention.
August technology story. They made a can of Pringles that can last after the apocalypse. Is that what did they do?
I think they already can.
Yeah, I think so.
Like a Twinkie.
Yeah.
This was a bit self-serving for Grok, I would say.
Okay.
Was it the Tim Walz dissed Tesla and then it spiked the day afterwards?
I wish Grok was that pithy, but no. This is just about how kind of the AI race is changing the world, and something happened with ChatGPT. Then totally just a pat on the back, I think.
ChatGPT 5, OpenAI's quadruple play, and the birth of AI time. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really scary. I mean, Elon Musk is saying that there's going to be like, I don't even understand what the device is. That's how scary it is. Maybe you guys can explain it to me, but it's going to be some kind of, there aren't going to be phones anymore even. I'm just getting, it's going to be some kind of AI thing that has a bunch of panels and whatever and fits under your third fingernail. Do you have any idea what they're talking about?
Well, the thought always was you could have a chip implanted.
That's not what it is, I don't think.
The one or really?
Yeah, I mean, I would have understood that.
Well, the AI, you can't fit that under your finger. The actual AI requires a skyscraper of servers. I mean, that takes like 2 nuclear plants to power.
Right, and our electric grid is going to go down powering right. AI.
That's right. That's
why Tucker Carlson is fighting for us. Because we're all going to be like the 5 million truck drivers who are going to get out of work. And then what are we going to do?
Oh, no, we're all going to be sitting in vats of jelly because we're going to be the only energy source to power the AI. We'll be powering
We will be
Matrix.
the powering source. And you just gave away Publius, which you haven't even seen. Bruce Wolf, Tim Slagle on the Weekly Wrap. Bruce Wolf, Tim Slagle on the weekly wrap with, more or less the top stories of 2025. But I during
According
the break,
to Grok. According to Grok.
So I got into a fight, and I've had this fight before with people on Twitter because Rob Reiner, of all people, he should rest in peace. He was quoted in some interview. He was saying it's a liberal talking point about immigration. Immigrants have a lower crime rate than Americans, when they come in here, and it never it sounded like a good argument to me, and I just wanted to know your thoughts on that because they have a lower crime rate. I mean, what's the proper amount of crime that they should have coming in?
It's immigrants. It's so a lot of them are legal immigrants.
No, but I mean, even if they're illegal,
right. But what I'm saying is that legal immigrants are going to have a lower crime rate because they don't want to have to go back to the.
Let's assume that the illegal immigrants have a lower crime rate.
I think you got to go back and look at that statistic, Bruce. I think that they've kind of fudged it by lumping all immigrants together.
I don't know about that. It's a good question.
And as far as Rob Reiner, he was a good father. Because he was because his kid didn't use a gun.
It's so, you know what? I can't even go there, man. I just won't go there. No, but that is a good question. It's a good question whether they're lumping in legal immigrants too. But I'm assuming the illegal. Let's say the illegal.
Okay. Let's assume you're right.
Yeah. So I mean, what's the proper amount of crime that there should be? Now, here's an argument that I've fashioned, and see if you can follow this. If you're saying that illegal immigrants have a lower crime rate than the Americans who are already here, you're kind of making a tacit argument that, well, let's get our crime rate lower. All right. Well, who would we have to get rid of in order to get our crime rate lower? Because you seem to be concerned about that. Well, you want to break it down into demographics because you're certainly breaking down the immigration into demographics. So, yeah, if we subtract a certain population of the United States, then our crime rate goes way down. So then you don't have the argument anymore. So is your argument really that there's an ethnic group that creates a lot of crime in America, and now we should bring in illegal immigrants who are lower than that? I don't see that.
You're bordering on Groyper right now, Bruce.
Exactly. Well, no,
but I've always said they always say the homicide rate in Sweden, the rate of gun violence in Sweden is so much lower. I've always said, okay, well, let's look at the gun violence rate among American Swedish immigrants.
Totally, it's right. It's even lower. Yeah, right.
Is that we do
look? I'm not trying to go Groyper. I'm trying to follow the logic of what they're saying because they're basically they're saying, hey, we've got a high crime rate already. Well, are you upset about that? Okay, no, it's and how many illegal immigrants is it good to bring in who will kill a bunch of people? I know Stalin said you had to break a few eggs to make an omelet, but Orwell said, "Where's the omelet?" I don't think we should. It just doesn't resonate with me, that argument. But
sure,
okay.
Mexico has a much higher homicide rate than the United States. Did you know that?
Did not know that.
Yeah, much higher, especially gun homicides. So take all the people whose name ends in O or Z out of the equation.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll continue this conversation into 2026 and 27, I'm sure. You had something you wanted to bring up, I think.
Did I?
I think we're resurrecting the 2020 election.
Oh,
right.
Oh, well, yeah. For specifically to get Mr. Tom Owens to shut off the podcast. It was just Fulton County. Now that the statute of limitations is
it
passed,
Fulton or DeKalb County? Now I can't remember. Or
Fulton County, Georgia,
yeah,
admitted that they counted 315,000 illegal votes.
Yeah.
And they wanted to prosecute Trump for saying to find just 12. to find just
So
a small percentage.
yeah, what's interesting to me, and maybe because this, we don't have a kid named Shirley who's bringing this to the fore. It, I know that Chris said that he heard it on Bannon last week, but I haven't seen anybody make anything out of this now.
Really?
And we are getting to the end
David
of the
Muir
year.
didn't mention it. Barry
Huh?
Weiss did not cover it.
Barry Weiss hasn't covered it. Nobody, none of the legacy networks have brought it up. So I'm not closing the door on that by all means. Let's, that we've kept the Civil War roundtable going.
No, I looked it up. I forget. I did trace it to its source, and it is a legitimate statistic that they got mail-in votes that were not properly signed for, so that they should not have been counted.
Not properly signed for by whom?
By the poll workers.
And is that dispositive of the issue? I mean, does that negate an election if the poll workers don't sign it?
Well, it should have, because there's no trail of where those votes came from. They could have come from anywhere.
And this just came out now.
They just finally admitted it.
They finally admitted it. How long have they known it?
Well, there's an ongoing audit, and right now that they finally, after all these court cases, they're finally starting to count the votes in Georgia, and they're saying, well, where did these 315,000 come from? And they went, oh yeah, I guess we shouldn't have counted those.
What if they were all for Trump? I mean, what if they were, and they were
all for Biden? All for
no,
Biden, yeah.
They were counted, but
we
they
have
were
no idea
Trump.
who they were for.
Yeah.
But the thing is, in an election that's disputed,
Right.
in an election with a 12,000 vote margin,
no,
315,000
look,
illegal votes should have demanded
I don't know that much. You know that I consider myself an expert on election law, but I'm willing to entertain that question. I just like to see somebody else entertain it, other than the tinfoil hats. But we'll see. We'll see. I'm not foreclosing it. All right. So should we go back to the list here?
Oh,
by the way, Bannon was still talking about it today, Bruce. So
sure.
He's a dog.
Does he have anybody on who contests him, or
the guy that filed the lawsuit in Georgia that got some of these books opened? He's had on like 3 times in the last week.
No, but that's the guy who's contesting the election. I'm saying, is he getting anybody on the other side who says no? This doesn't fly. Anybody or no?
Well, they break down like there's been 2 stories in major publications trying to poo-poo the whole thing, and they go through the story pretty much paragraph by paragraph to say how they're completely off on their thinking.
What are they poo-pooed?
I didn't pay that much attention.
Okay.
What's this guy they've had on since 2020 though that sued
right.
Georgia he's not a MAGA guy, he's a registered Democrat. Mm-hmm. But he saw problems going back years before, and he started suing them long before the 2020 election. Mm-hmm. And he said everything was magnified in 2020, especially with the mail-in ballots.
I will add to this only that everything's been magnified. All right, so now we can move on. Thank you. And continue on this beat for us. Appreciate it. So do we have any other top stories? I hope we'll get through this list. I think we've slowed down a little bit.
Well, we're in where are we at? We're in September.
Okay.
Go to September. And
top stories.
Top stories 2025. September. This is another global conflict story. Now in September. Thoughts? Guesses? Questions?
I mean, this isn't when we dropped the bomb in Iran, is it? I can't even remember the month now.
Yeah, that would I think that tracks.
Is that September?
I think Israel wanted to get it done by October 7th.
Before October 7th.
Yeah.
Is that right?
That's probably better than what Grok came up with, because Grok came up. We got the second ceasefire is what
Yeah,
Yeah.
but the second ceasefire came after the Iranian nuclear bombing.
Well,
Correct? If I
Crockett-
remember my history correctly, it was Hamas saw what happened in Iran and said, "Okay,
Yep.
I'll tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, you are, you can get some pretty bad lists at the end of the year, but I don't know if anything tops this list. Among the lists that you're going to see in our listicle centric republic, especially toward the end of every year. I don't see that. If there is one more Hamas headline in here,
Just put a quick bow on
yeah,
remembering the election of 2020.
in case Tom is still here.
Yeah,
right.
just remember that this happened, and when you talk about 315,000 votes out of nowhere, just remember why in
Yes.
the world did this man get that
Right,
many
and
votes?
the
For those listening on WJOB in Northwest Indiana, where the pierogi is going to drop tomorrow night, it is a picture of Joe Biden. It's a graph, and all the last other four candidates only have 60 million votes, and Joe Biden has 81 million.
Well, they had like from the mid 60s to the high 60s, but yes, Biden had at least 10 million more votes that year.
And the anomalies corrected after mail-in ballot and COVID, the craziness of COVID mail-in ballots happened, right? Back to the normal kind of number of 68 from where we're at.
And boy, if you could find
so Tom, please comment on that, Tom.
Well, I would first like to know. Is if it got 10 million bad votes, okay, why is Rudy Giuliani, was he losing his apartment? Because he went after somebody who really wasn't committing fraud. I mean, you ought to be able to get some cases going here if there's 10 million. So, okay.
Well, they were never allowed to get the cases going. Remember, it wasn't that they lost in court. They were never able to get the cases to court. Well,
I
Tom,
think
really,
because lack of standing.
You know what? I think this kid
is
Shirley.
Tom checked out yet or not? That should be there.
I think this kid Shirley is gonna get to the bottom of everything as soon as Barry Weiss hires him. Bruce Wolf, Tim Slagle on the weekly wrap. Bruce Wolf, Tim Slagle on the weekly wrap, limping towards the end of the top stories of 2025. And
according to Grok.
According to Grok, yes. So are we in October yet?
We are still in September, but there is no October. So,
okay.
Again, back to the global conflict. I think that Grok is very much wants to be a global, because the actual U.S. stories were somewhat limited, even though I guess we're involved, but very global. Yeah. This back to global conflict and.
I know the war in Ukraine ended. As I recall,
it ended.
Is that yeah? I'm joking.
Oh.
What happened?
So after the quote unquote ceasefire war, and what happened, I guess, would be the best way to put it. The UN came out with their report. That's pretty much essential.
Oh, really?
And,
that's like one of the tops. I don't even remember that UN report.
Well, it's because they had said that.
Israel has committed genocide in the Gaza Strip. UN Commission finds. That's one of the top stories.
According to Grok. I think it's good to go through the Grok list to see what BS.
Right. It's funny. It's actually funny just to go through their list of stories, because that you talk about a story that's been debunked. Subsequent to that, I mean, it was garbage. The statistics are absolute garbage. On genocide in the Gaza Strip. So, okay. And starvation. Oh, I know what the next big story is going to be, though. Mamdani gets elected, right? That's November.
We are in November.
Mamdani elected.
Tim, you got to guess. We're in November. It is somewhat political.
I'm going to go with Bruce. I'm going to say Mamdani.
No, now we go to the Epstein files.
Oh.
And the fact that Trump's name was in it.
Oh God.
in the House, and the Democrats released everything they could that had Trump on it. Remember this before the releases that came last week. It was
I would like to ask Tim, because
Mhm.
he's got the tinfoil hat. In 2026, will we finally prove that Hillary killed Epstein? Well, is that what will that come out in 2026? Tim, your
Nah.
prediction?
No. It's none of the Clinton hit list has ever gone to court, much even a grand jury, much less to court. So no.
you're not getting the new tinfoil on this, Bruce, which is Trump, because his name appears so many times. Trump ordered the killing of Epstein.
Oh wow, I hadn't heard
Yeah.
that one.
Yeah.
Called up Hillary, said, "Do you still know?
Called up
Do you
Hillary.
still know those guys?
How do you guys get away with this, Hillary? Can you tell me how I can get this done?
Have those guys retired yet?"
All right. Are we down to like the last story of
The last story. Then
Okay,
we'll talk
the
a little bit
last
about what you
top
guys
story.
thought was important. And back to global conflict, different part of the world than where we've
Okay,
been.
well, this is when we preemptively bombed China and took out their nuclear threat. Am I right about that?
No, I'm going to say that it's the Venezuelan boats.
Man, your Grok is not on pace with either of you two.
Wow.
We're going to Sudan now, fellas, and
What?
UN warns Sudan war entering deadlier phase as fighting spreads in Kordofan. I think Grok, did you put in like the word? What would the United Nations say were the top stories of 2025?
Well, they would have to mention the tipping past the tipping point of global warming, then, wouldn't they?
Yeah, and like memorial for Utant unveiled. Dag Hammarskjöld family heirs very upset about that. Yes, let's go do UN for 1,000, Alex. Okay. All right.
All right,
So that's
gentlemen,
and that ends the list of top stories.
and what a
according
great
to
list
Grok.
that was.
Oh man.
And now we move on to what, Chris?
These are the top three things that both of you talked about on X this past year.
Looking back at why Grok might have thought those big stories were big stories is maybe a lot of people asked Grok where the heck is Korkistan?
Sure.
So that
Exactly.
that's got to be a top story.
I would think so. All right. So these are the top stories. All right. So we should guess. I'm going to guess Tim tweeted about Michelle Randolph more than anything else. That's what I'm going to guess.
Not once.
Not once. Okay.
So oddly, you go to Grok and Grok doesn't recognize it. So I had to go to ChatGPT
Okay.
to get the answers, and the answers are somewhat broad. So it could be general topics.
Yeah.
And what you're.
So
these
mine
are
have got to
totally
be
spot on.
mine have got to be Don Lemon, Mark Giangracco, and Sydney Sweeney. Probably that's what I'd say my top three are. What are your top
All right.
three, Tim?
Tim?
I don't remember. I don't do the twittering like you do.
I know you're
Bruce.
not.
I don't.
You're not that big.
Once, twice a month. That's it.
Yeah.
I will say these are pretty general, but they're pretty spot on. So
Okay.
they must have gathered information and kind of did a quick summary of it.
Yeah.
So Bruce's third most popular thing of what he talks about are personal reflections and humor on media and storytelling. So
Yeah.
posts were about media culture, storytelling, personal commentary, such as calling out bits of news coverage, sharing meta remarks, like story of the year, or reflecting on media narratives. These
Yeah,
are less hard news and more personal take or humorous framing of events. Jesus, sounds like the show, Bruce.
They got me pegged. All right. What's number two? Is that number three or?
That's number three for you. Number three for Tim.
Mm-hmm.
Personal and cultural humor content. Personal reflections and humorous takes on everyday life, similar to his comedy style, seen in specials and older posts. ChatGPT knows you there, Tim.
Oh,
Wow.
So the number two for Bruce.
So they're accusing you, ChatGPT, of cannibalizing your act. Okay, I got it.
You know what? ChatGPT, when I asked ChatGPT to write a comedy bit in my style,
Yeah.
it starts out with what's the deal with payphones? So They at least know my age.
Mine would be a grasshopper walks into a bar. You have a drink named after me? Yes, Larry. Okay, what's my second? Yeah,
Or some humorous Edward R. Murrow takes.
Absolutely.
Number 2 topic for Bruce was Chicago sports, especially the Bears. Wolf posted about Chicago sports references to the Bears and other local related moments, Bears jerseys, signings, fan experiences. So for a guy that keeps saying he knows nothing about sports, you seem to talk about sports quite a bit.
Yeah, but mine it's all superficial. But go ahead, go to Tim. We're running out of time here.
Oh, Tim was political, social commentary, trends of the year, elections. Mentioned elections a lot, public figures.
There's no chat GPT. That's just Tom Owens behind the keyboard.
Yeah, right. He's writing everything. He does our Wikipedia pages too. Number one for me.
Chicago area local civic and political commentary. Bruce Wolf frequently commented on political topics and local civic issues in opinionated and humorous ways, rather than straight news. Examples include him discussing supporting topics of certain groups, politicians in Illinois, and civic commentary on local governors and activists. This is pretty much the show. They could have just taken a summary of this show.
Absolutely.
And then
what's Tim's number one?
Tim's number 1, posting about his stand-up shows and where he's playing.
Okay. Right. Well,
I told you I only posted once a month.
In 2026, I'm going to make Tim's shows at least number 3 in my Twitters, but right then Don Lemon number 2. All right, Tim. Hey, it's been another great year. What is this, like 40 years we've been doing this? It's fantastic.
This is our record.
Sure feels like it.
Record numbers of shows this year, guys. Not a lot of best ofs. We did 52 actual shows.
Unfreaking believable.
Wow.
Because when you couldn't make it, Tim would step in, vice versa.
Yeah.
We didn't have the off weeks that we would take in the past.
That's good.
Wow.
So
Congratulations,
we got some carryover vacation. We could do, be like Johnny Carson and only do about 14 weeks next year. Tim, Chris, Happy New Year to you.
Happy New Year.
Same to you guys.
We'll get together again very shortly in the new year. Bruce Wolf, Tim Slagle, and Chris on the Weekly Wrap.
And that's the Weekly Wrap on radio and television. Follow Bruce at Bruce Wolf Shy on Twitter and Tim at timslagle.com. The Weekly Wrap with Bruce Wolf, a CP Pods production.